Hello, welcome to my series about all Chopin's music. Today's episode about Etude in C minor, Opus 10, number 12, will be full of drama. This etude, so-called a revolutionary etude, cannot be analyzed without talking about what exactly happened in Chopin's life and in the history of Poland that time, and why young 21 years old happy and with a great sense of humor Polish guy writes and composes such music. So what happened? We will talk about it soon during our analysis of the structure and the emotions and the music. But before, we have to talk about the difficulties, of course. So get back to earth and let's focus. Of course, this etude is for the left hand. The first etude was for the right hand, the last etude is for the left hand. And you know, it's very interesting because we had two etudes in which left hand had to play fast. A few days before we were talking about this. When left hand had to play very fast and it was stretching the left hand. Also, this one was also for the left hand, but you know, a little bit, there was not too much, but still left hand had to improve. But this etude is entirely written for the left hand. Left hand alone has a very similar problem to the one that right hand had in Etude in F major, Opus 10, number 8. So, left hand. What is this problem? Of course, very fast playing, but also to use the, the thumb under these 4 fingers, or these 4 fingers over the thumb. This is the first problem. The second problem, stamina of left hand. We have to play loud with the left hand all the time, fast. That's why we're full power, full of emotions. That's why we feel pain. If we don't know the secret of relaxation during playing, believe it or not, but when I played it for you, my left hand was relaxed. My fingers, my fingertips, they were very strong, aggressive, dramatic. But my elbow, my forearm and my arm, it was relaxed. Otherwise, I would have never been able to play the whole etude in this kind of intensity. Impossible. So, of course, we need to have a good technique. And another very important thing, because this etude is about drama, and the right hand is screaming out all the emotions that Chopin had inside him. That's why we have to play the right hand as if we are talking, screaming. We cannot play this with the metronome. So now the most important advice for everybody who wants to play this etude well. Now focus, it's very important. We should never adjust the right hand in this etude to the left hand. Never. On the opposite. The left hand must be adjusted to the right hand. What does it mean? The left hand, of course, we have to master the left hand alone. You have to know all left hand in tempo, by heart, played perfectly and with intensity, forte, no problems, very even, fast. Okay. But then I recommend learn right hand alone. Learn how to scream with right hand. Learn how to talk about this pain that Chopin had. Learn how to express his feelings. Learn how to be Chopin at that time. Be free. Be free to express, And the left hand can adjust, must adjust. Have to wait sometimes go a little faster. Has to, because it's accompanying. Only then this etude will be alive. Only then it will be really very touching and moving. Right hand alone. And only then put them together. And don't let the left hand change the right hand at any rate. Never. Now, what is this etude about? If you watched my video about Chopin's last prelude in D minor, Opus 28, number 24, I quoted there Chopin's diary, Stuttgart's diary. Well, I quoted it worse, better or worse, trying to translate from Polish because I have it originally in Polish. This prelude was written in more or less the same time. So I strongly recommend you to watch also this video about prelude in D minor. You can find it on YouTube, because it will help you. But today I have for you, my friends, something amazing. Can you imagine that National Polish Institute finally published Polish Chopin's letters translated in English for the first time? And here I have it. Well, I have it in my phone, but I want to read for you the original, well, or professionally translated parts from Chopin's Stuttgart Diary. And you have to stay now with me. You have to hear it, because after that, playing this etude or listening to this etude will never be the same. Stuttgart, September 1831. Chopin writes, I quote, "I wrote the previous pages not knowing that the enemy is at our home. The suburbs are demolished, burned down. Jaś, Wiluś," these were Chopin's friends, "probably perished in the entrenchments. I see Marceli a prisoner. Sowiński, that good man, in the hands of those louts, those bastards, you know." Chopin had some visions. He see his friends dying, his friends in prison, terrible, terrible things. And now the most important words, and I quote, "Oh God, you are, and you don't exact revenge?" Very important. Chopin, Catholic, who were raised by very religious parents. He has a crisis, a faith crisis, we can say. He can't understand that God lets and allows such terrible things to happen to his motherland, to his family, to his friends, to his nation. He is asking God if he exists, This must have been really a tragedy for him. And later he curses God. This is very deep, my friends, especially for Chopin. He writes, "God, are you a Muscovite yourself?" Muscovite means a Russian, And then Chopin writes, "My poor father, my good man, perhaps he is hungry, hasn't anything with which to buy mother bread. Perhaps my sisters have succumbed to the wild Muscovite villainy." I don't know what it means. Paskevich, if he was a Russian. "A dog from Mogilev conquers the seats of the foremost monarch of Europe." This is important. Conquers the seats of the foremost monarch of Europe. Chopin is proud to be Polish. All Polish people were at that time. We remembered that Poland was one of the first monarchy in Europe. We had a very powerful country back in 1100, when we were together with Lithuania. We were the most powerful country in Europe, and we kept this knowledge among us, because it helped us feeling proud and fight for the independence when we didn't have our country for 123 years. That's exactly, my friends, how tragic history of my country is. "Oh, father," writes Chopin, "are these your pleasures in your old age? Mother suffering, tender mother, did you outlive your daughter?" Because one of his sisters died when she was young. "Only in order to see the Russian fall upon her bones to oppress you. They burned the city down." And now another important, listen to the young Chopin writing. "Oh, why couldn't I kill even one Russian?" I mean, it says Muscovite, but I don't know if you know the word. He was devastated. And frankly, we can finish this video. I can say bye-bye to you, because this music is about that. But let's do a very fast analysis of the structure. So everything starts from the war. Chopin so devastated that he is banging the piano. Of course, it's not 20th century music, so he couldn't do it. But the first chord is very similar to the first chord of Scherzo number 1, which you remember, if you watch my videos, you must do it, because I'm also using my elbows to show the emotions of Chopin at that time. And then the left hand is expressing immediately what happens inside Chopin. Again, two hands together. And then what happens here? 4 notes going up. Oh God, do you exist? What else can it be? And you know what happens after that? The answer for this question is written in piano. Not everybody knows it. And I remember once, many years ago, I played this etude and it was recorded. Maybe you know this recording. I'm in white jacket, and I'm playing this in Poland. And somebody commented this, and this comment was not very nice. And he's commented, "Oh, it's so strange what you are doing. Why you play piano there, and it's too much piano and changing. Everything should be forte." I couldn't believe in what I read. So I had to answer to this, of course, and I said, well, this is what Chopin wrote. I think this guy felt stupid. But anyway, not everybody knows that here Chopin writes piano. And this is very important. Because, you know, if you are Catholic, if you believe in God, something happens, you question his existence. You curse him. Are you a Russian? Do you exist? Maybe you don't exist. Then Chopin himself is afraid of what he just said. So, you know, first you curse, then you, oh my God, what did I do? What have I done? You know, and this is exactly like this. You have a very dramatic here, and then, and again piano. And then we have the second phrase. Like a war, killing Russians. I'm sorry to say Russians, because if I have to say something now, very important. I love Russian people. I want to make a statement. I love Russian people. I love Russian art. I really admire you, if you are Russian especially, and if you are not, you can say to your Russian friends. Я понимаю немножко по-русски, я говорю немножко по-русски. I love this language. I really think Russian people are very sensitive, very good. The only thing I don't like is the history. What happened long time ago. But we forget. We are now in a new people. We are new generations. We forgive everything. We forgive also to Germans. Everything is forgiven. We are brothers. We love each other. And I hope it will be like that forever. That's important. So don't take personally any what I say, but I just talk about history, okay? So here Chopin wants to come back and destroy everybody. And now another thing, the second time, when we have the consequent phrase. Again, I have to show you, because you would never believe me. Sotto voce. Under the voice. Very, very, very sad. So the second time, Chopin doesn't have power. And then from here we build up the energy with bass going up and everything going up. And this moment is very heroic, you know, like almost like. later Chopin will write this heroic. This is very similar. From here starts the middle part. And middle part is very heroic, proud, like a polonaise. Listen. Here Chopin asks questions 2 times. And then here is the climax, the first big climax. We reached, and 2 times we destroy. It's like a shot of cannon. And then what happens? We are back at the beginning of the piece, or the introduction. And we have a recapitulation of the first theme. And another now very important thing. Just listen what happens with the right hand. Chopin is so devastated. He's so I cannot find an English word. Tormented inside. That he wants to bang the table and the keyboard with his fist. So he's changing the first motif. Instead of this, we will have more notes. And this will create even stronger feelings. Listen here. Again, a little polonaise rhythm here. And now, what happens now is very important. You know, in this etude, the biggest drama, the biggest suffering happens in piano pianissimo. You know, maybe you remember, if you watch all my analysis of etudes, Opus 10 number 6 in E flat minor, I deeply believe it was written in the same time. But after all these hot emotions cooled down, when Chopin slept a lot, he took this etude as an autotherapy. He still felt so down, so depressed. And he wrote this E flat minor etude. But here, in this etude also, the biggest drama happens in the softest part. Let's just listen to the end. And here now, what a pain! And the very end is forte fortissimo possibile, and it's exactly, literally, like banging the table with the fist, with a rage. What, I played the wrong note, sorry. This music, it moves me every time I play it, and I played it in public maybe 300 times. Every time it moves me to tears, every time. And sometimes my friends ask me, aren't you fed up with this? Aren't you bored with this? It's so overplayed. Everybody plays it. Everybody knows it. We want to vomit when we think about this music, they say. I'm like, you're not my, how to say, in my team. Well, I'm completely different. Before I start to play this etude, I feel for Chopin. I become him. I feel what he felt. I have his words in my head. Thanks God, this Stuttgart diary survived. This is amazing. And now all of you, English speakers, you can buy Chopin's letters in English. And you should do it. You should find it on the National Polish Chopin Institute website. I strongly recommend. This is a fantastic book. I know it in Polish, so I know what I'm talking about. Here we are, we finished Opus 10. We can listen one more time to this etude played in China, in Beijing. Back in 2017, I played this piece for nearly 1,000 Chinese people in the audience. It was unforgettable concert, especially because I don't know when will be the next time when I visit China, because of the coronavirus that is still on. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow. If you watch me live, see you tomorrow. We will open the new Opus 25. Another 12 etudes to go. Bye bye.